Hello, Professor Manuel. I hope you are having a great time during this quarantine. I hope you and your family are staying safe. And I apologize if I get distracted during this video because I am taking care of a baby raccoon. And my father, if you hear my father and his brothers yelling, I apologize. But I do hope you enjoy what I have prepared for you today. And today I'm trying to persuade people on why college athletes should get paid. College athletes, have you ever really put the thought in to on how much money college athletes generate for a college, or maybe just an economy in general, and how much profit or how much of that profit a player sees? A player sees none of the profit. A player sees none of the profit, while coaches, the school, the athletic director, they see all of the profit. There have been many there are many pros and cons to having an athlete being paid, but it's just logic to have the athlete paid because he or she produces the entertainment. CNBC has made countless propositions on how much athletes like Joe Burrow should make, or like lower tier athletes that aren't up to Joe Burrow's standards. Going from that and putting some facts out. March Madness in 2017 has produced or did produce $1.1 billion dollars, and not a single player saw a dime. March Madness is also the biggest tournament in college basketball, in Division One college basketball. It is it is the national tournament for just the decision of who becomes the national champion of Division One basketball, which countless players participate in. Zion Williamson, for example, was playing and he tore through a shoe making a move in basketball, and he sprained his knee, I believe, something in his knee. And just imagine if he had tore his ACL or his MCL, and how much that would have brought his value down, or maybe he quit basketball because of it. He had to stop his entire career. He would have made no money. He would have put everything into basketball, and it would all just ended. It would have ended in a matter of seconds. Division One athletes also spend a total of an average of maybe 30 plus hours in meetings, games, practices, just anything sport related. And they just don't see any time for themselves. They also have to manage schoolwork that he or she has to keep up with. And most of the athletes that play at that level, not most, some of the athletes come from a poor family. And how is that family supposed to be able to provide for that child when he or she isn't there? So they have to send money to them while taking care of the family at home. While there are pros and cons to paying a college athlete, there are more pros. The pros outweigh the cons. And just a few cons, for example, many sadly many colleges have profitable programs. Like maybe not every school has a football team like Alabama's Crimson Tide, which probably generates a serious amount of revenue for the school. Or maybe Duke's basketball team. Another con, for example, is that many athletes already get good benefits. Athletes get Many athletes get countless full ride scholarships to just big schools, and they get maybe their books paid for, and they have their books paid for and their lunch is paid for, while some athletes don't. A pro to paying a college athlete is that if you some athletes play sports in high school to just play and have fun. But maybe if you give him the incentive of being paid, maybe he or she will think about playing in college and maybe at another level, which out brings out the competition and the competitive level for the game. Oh my goodness. Also, another pro to having that is the players develop a sense of awareness for a sense of awareness for money and how to handle money. Still, it's just logically right for players to get paid for the entertainment he or she produces for an audience and the coaches. The coaches see all the profit, which brings me to the point where on why do coaches make millions of dollars? I understand that coaching is not easy. Coaching at a Division 1 level or at any level is not easy, and I'm not bashing them at all, but he or she should not be paid millions of dollars to be able to just provide for his or her family. His or her family. Because players need some of that income. Players put their bodies on the line countless times, countless hours throughout the week in intense workouts set up by the coaches, intense practices set up by the coaches, and they need to present what they got from the workout and the practice in the game against other players who've done the same thing. And players lose their abilities to play from injuries throughout the workouts, throughout the practices, and even the games. And the players don't see any of that. The coaches make millions of dollars off of it. Players also get no time for themselves to make money because they're hooked by the coaches. The coaches have them set on strict schedules, bedtimes, curfews. They also have to manage the schoolwork. Of course, schoolwork outweighs the sport because the sport goes away. Education does not go away. Sports will always ultimately be like the second priority for an athlete. And also, the coaches are making millions of dollars when he or she is not put in harm's way. Again, it's not easy being a college coach, but it's also not easy waking up every morning, whether knowing you can play, this might be my last day playing the sport because I have to produce at a level to where my coach wants me to play and I can possibly go to the next level. Which brings me to conclusion on why maybe college athletes should be able to make money off of his or her name with merchandise. Like a jersey, players should see some kind of income from that. And not the school, because the school does not own that person. And also, players, just at the end of the day, it's common sense. Players make the entertainment possible, and just they bring people together to watch the game. Thank you, Professor. I hope you have a blessed one.